This is going to be more of a practical webinar. So we're going to see how we can create engagement using your content hub in Scoopit. So recently, there have been many subjects that have been brought to light, and these important subjects have shaken up our lives. And this is what brought us to the idea of organizing this webinar. There's a huge amount of data every minute online. As you can see in this chart, there are millions of tweets every minute. So it's really important to be able to discern what is truly going to be of value and what is impactful for you, for your company, and for your viewers. So on this graph that it has been created with Radali from Linkfluence, which is part of the same group as Scoopit. Radali is a social listening tool. So we chose the word COVID-19, and you can see the use of this keyword over the last 6 months, roughly. So you can see at first, at the beginning of the year, it wasn't really employed by anyone online. And then when we get towards March and April, with the increase of the pandemic, there's also a huge increase with the use of the keyword online. Here we've crossed the keyword COVID-19 in pink with the keywords Black Lives Matter in blue. So Black Lives Matter was still relatively spoken about in the beginning of the year, but it kind of died down when there was the COVID-19 pandemic. But with the recent issues that have happened, mainly in the US, there has been a huge increase in the use of the keyword Black Lives Matter online. So as you can see, keywords and trends can change very quickly. And it's really important to be able to monitor what is currently the mainly used keywords online so that you can stay up to date. So brands and companies are going to be expected to provide their point of view and show their consumers how they're reacting to the impacts of these trends. Companies are going to need help to decrypt the information online, which sometimes can be about them. If there's a company that's kind of in the eye of the public at that given time, sometimes it's hard to really get to the center of that idea. So with Scoopit, we're going to be able to help you answer the questions, which are going to be how to set up an effective social monitoring, how to adapt this monitoring to the engagement needs of your audience, and how to distribute and measure it. And finally, we're going to see how to make it reactive as the news expects it to be today. As you saw, there's a huge amount of data, so you need to be up to date and able to react quickly. So that's roughly the first part. Here you have what is Scoopit. So this is a nice graph because you can see the 3 main parts of Scoopit. So in the first part, you're going to be able to discover all of the content online. You can select it, edit it afterwards, and add your insight, which is going to add value to what you're sharing. And finally, you can distribute it either on social channels, via email, and finally, you can also integrate it into your blogs or websites. So here you have our email if you would like to get in touch directly. This presentation will be sent to you, so you'll also be able to reply to us directly there. So in the second part of this presentation, we'd like to mainly go over the tool of Scoopit, kind of give you a feel of how to use Scoopit to the fullest for you. So here you have your dashboard, which displays your various topics that you've created. So we created coronavirus-based topics during the pandemic, one in English and one in French. So if I go on to the one in English, you can see that we've customized it to be a bit more attractive. We created these topics in the idea that we wanted to keep ourselves informed, but also communicate information that we had read that we thought was interesting, with a bit of added value to it with the insights, as you can see here. So you can see that there is the link to the original source, the date where the article was published, an image from the website, and then you have, as I said, the insight. Obviously, there was a lot of data to do with coronavirus, so we decided to also add tags to make it easier to navigate the topic. So if I just click on one, I'm only going to have the publications that have that tag. It makes it easier to find the information that you're really interested in. So then if I go into the settings, I can show you a little more as to how it was customized. So in the customization, you can choose either a default theme as a template, which are available here. You're going to be able to customize the background images if you'd like one, the colors, the text. Pretty much everything is customizable, the size of the font, etc. You can really go over anything to really make it to your taste, either to your company colors or if you're only doing it for yourself, for a personal point of view. Then in the settings, you're also going to be able to have access here to teams. So ours is a co-curated topic, which is available on the enterprise plan. So this means that these 5 people are able to curate content on this topic, add articles, add their insight. You also have the option to make your topic private if you would like to only have it within your company. Ours was made in the idea of sharing content with our viewers, which is why we chose to make it public. And finally, you also have here the option to integrate sort of a pop-up, which will enable you to either collect email addresses, phone numbers, whatever is of interest to you to get better in touch with your viewers. So if you configure this, it will then just pop up when you slide down the page. Another really interesting feature is going to be the calendar. Here you can see all of the publications that have been made. You'd also see the ones that are scheduled if you had some. You can also go back in to edit it directly if you would want to go back and change the tags, the insight, the image, anything you'd like. You can do it from here directly, so you don't have to go back onto your topic. So I'm going to show you now the suggestions, which is one of our options to collect content. So here you see the keywords that we've added. So coronavirus, COVID-19, coronavirus without the space, and Europe. You can deactivate a keyword and it will search for new content for you. You can also select the time frame within which you would like to search. You can decide how you want to sort your content and also the type of content that you're looking for. If you don't want any content from social channels, you can deactivate that. You can also see suggestions that have been made by users. This is an option if you would like to have your viewers to suggest content to you. So as I was saying, in the suggestions, once you find an article that's interesting in your opinion, you just click on publish. From here, you're going to have the editing window. So here is where you're going to be able to, you can modify the quote from the original article if you'd like to. You can also modify the image if there are several images within the article. It's not the case here. You can also upload your own image if you'd like something more specific or more on theme for you. You can change the size of the image, the display, pretty much anything. You can also put some words in bold if you'd like to emphasize certain aspects of the quote. This is also where you're going to be able to add the tags. So here you can see the list of tags that have already been used. This is to help you select where to categorize your article and also avoid having keywords created twice with perhaps just a plural or singular. So this is also the most important part, is where you're going to be able to add your insight. So this is going to be your expert opinion about the article. What's the most important thing that you've retained from it, why other people should read it, etc. You can also select your social channels, and you can schedule your post if you'd like to post it a different hour, a different day. All of that is done from here. And finally, you can select the topic that you would like to post to if you are curating several. So the other option on our online plans for finding content is going to be the Bookmarklet. So the Bookmarklet is great if you want to find articles to publish while you're doing your regular reading online. If you come across an article that you really like and that this is installed, you can directly just click on it in your favorites bar, and you'll have the same editing window that I showed you previously, which is going to pop up. And you can do everything from your web page, whatever website you're reading. And once it's published, you can go right back to reading without having to change page, which is a huge time saver. And the installation is very quick and easy. You have a video here explaining step by step how to do it, but otherwise it's just a quick drag and drop and a copy and paste of this code here, and then you're good to go. So another great feature, which is going to be important if you want to measure your engagement, is going to be the views. So I'll just go back into the coronavirus topic. Here, if I go onto the analytics, I can see the views that were, that's not the right period, sorry. So you can see that there are certain days that have been more, there we go. In April and May, which were the main peaks, and March obviously, but the main peaks of the pandemic, you can see that there are more views, and that's kind of died down now, because in certain parts the pandemic has lessened, so people have moved on to other centers of interest. But this is going to be great, so you can see your top readers. You can also get an overview on your scoops, on where your views are from, your newsletters, and you can get exports directly if you like all of that data in a different form, Excel for instance. So on the enterprise plan, you're going to have a slightly more advanced version of the suggestion tool here. So you can see on the left side of your screen, you have all of the queries that have already been created, which means it's quick and easy to go back and forth between different searches. So if I go into edit, you can see the keywords that have been entered. So here you can see that we've searched for coronavirus and COVID-19 within the title or the content that contains all of the words, whereas we could have chosen contains exactly the phrase, which would have been a larger search. And we've also chose to include that our search doesn't contain exactly the phrase job within the title or the content. So any article that links a job to coronavirus will not appear in the search results. We've chosen a time frame of 2 months, and we're only looking for articles in English, and are sorted by freshness. And we've chosen all types of content, but same as earlier, you can pick and choose which types you like. You can also set up email alerts and decide how often you would like to receive them. This means that, for instance, if you choose a daily email alert, you're going to receive every day the new articles that relate to this search. The other option that you're going to have is the feed reader. This is great if you've got a very specific sources. I'm thinking perhaps of medical magazines, anything that's going to be very specific and maybe wouldn't pop up on a regular browser. So here you can see all of the RSS feeds that we've added. You can also add Twitter feeds, YouTube channels, and you can then create groups, as we've done, to sort through your large amount of sources a lot easier. And it will save you time, because you can, if you're curating several topics, it does save time to have everything in the same place. So what's going to be great as well for creating engagement is going to be the newsletter. So your newsletter feature is right here. So this is on the enterprise plan. So these are the previously created newsletters. So if I go into send my newsletters, I click on new campaign. Right, so I can choose a newsletter. So your newsletter is completely customizable as well. You can choose the number of articles, the display, the let me just go back, I'll show you more in detail. You can edit. So you just use a drag and drop to add the article into your newsletter. As I said, you can customize the style with the colors. Generally for enterprise users, we create directly a template to your liking, to your company's colors, with the display that you prefer. But you can also do it yourself if you prefer to do it that way. So you can add here the social buttons directly if your viewers would like to directly share this article to their social channels. You can add widgets, just a text, a separator, an image, etc. And here on the export, you have the various options if you would like to use MailChimp to send it. You can also send it to yourself, download it as a file, or use an HTML code. The option that you're going to have within Scoopit is that everything is handled directly in the same space. So you can choose your campaign name, your recipient list. You can choose the subject of that will be the title of your email, your from name, from email, etc. And you can also choose to add the newsletter as an attachment, which is sometimes easier depending on the mailer that you use. And you can schedule either to send it at a later time or directly. And then once you've sent them, you can see all of the campaigns that you've sent. And within here, you can see the different statistics of that newsletter. So you have the open rate, the click rate. You can also know which articles were preferred, which articles were clicked more by your viewers. And you also have the number of people who have unsubscribed from your newsletter. So the other option that you're going to have to distribute your content, if you're not a fan of newsletters, is going to be integrating Scoopit directly into your website. So here you can see a widget which is going to display the latest posts from your Scoopit topic. This you can integrate directly onto your website. You can also embed your topic into your website. You can choose how many posts you'd like to display. And one of the most preferred uses is integrating directly into WordPress. This means that your topic will adapt to your WordPress display and will update automatically. As soon as you add content to your topic, it will be added onto your WordPress. So as demonstrated with our COVID-19 topics, you can see that these topics have really helped us to communicate with our viewers and create traffic also to our website. It's helped us to inform people, and it's really offered up-to-date content and various ways of distributing this content. So that's it. We're going to just have a look at the questions that you've sent in. So I have one question. Do you provide advice for setting up content hubs? So yes, for our enterprise users, you're going to have a dedicated contact who will walk you through all of the steps of setting up your queries, creating your newsletter to your company colors, to your liking. And for our online plans, you have access to our support team by using this question mark here. You can send the questions directly and we'll get back to everyone. And the other question that we have is, do we have a mobile app? So yes, we have an application on iOS and on Android, which will offer you pretty much all of the features that you've seen here, which is great for publishing on the go, if you're traveling, etc. So that's it from me. I hope that you enjoyed this webinar. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send us an email, and we will of course send you the presentation and the review of this presentation by email. Have a great day. Bye.